Hi. Well, we're not
No,
on there.
I-
Hi, guys. Obviously, this is Halloween edition.
Happy Halloween. Yep.
These are
Not
our
gonna keep
crazy
this on.
outfits. I'm going to be Santa. I
I'm
should be a girl.
Rich.
We got the Grinch over here.
Yep.
Fitting. Just kidding. You like Christmas.
Yep.
So we were going to start at 7, but
But baby needs some sleep.
I am falling asleep. I
Uh-oh.
know. So lame. What's the matter?
I lost it.
Anyway, so here we are. I am Dawn.
I'm Kyle. Hello.
We don't normally dress in costume, but
I
you
mean,
know,
sometimes.
Halloween is around the corner, so we thought, why not wear our costumes? Actually, I didn't want to, but he wanted to. Compromise.
And it's my birthday.
It's his birthday on Halloween,
get what I
so
want.
happy birthday to him.
Yeah, happy birthday.
So, if you've been following along, we've been doing a little series and covering different topics on marriage. If we keep looking here or we keep looking there, it's because we have 2 cameras set up, one for our YouTube and one for Facebook Live. So, just know that.
Camera 1? Camera 2?
Camera 1, camera 2.
Camera 1? Camera 2. All right.
We are not counselors. We don't know anything except for what we've figured out. Well, we know what works for us. So we're going to share some things that work for us. They may not work for you. Take what you want.
Take what you want and leave what you want. That's fine.
We have no kids that of our own
Yes.
that live with us. So what works for us may not work for you. We understand that.
Those things. What else do we have? We talked about the YouTube. We are going to put the link in the description, and we'll try and do that moving forward. So if you miss it or want to replay it, you can just click on the link and find it. It's there.
Yeah. Yeah, and as usual, just like, comment, share, subscribe to our YouTube.
Thumbs up.
Yeah, we love hearing from people like what they want us to cover, and tonight we are doing what David suggested last week, which is the 4 C's of marriage. We had never.
Yeah, but when it was commented, we both were like, "What's the
that?
4 C's? What? We don't know that."
So we Googled it because Google's awesome.
Google.
And the 4 C's are communication, commitment, compromise, and compassion. Because we like to keep this between 15 and 20 minutes long, we probably will not get more than.
We're gonna break it.
We're gonna try to do 2 tonight, but most likely we're just gonna do 1.
No, because the first one starting out is communication, and that is probably one of the biggest things that people struggle with or work on throughout their marriage.
Yeah.
3 common mistakes and how to fix it.
So we're gonna start with communication.
yeah.
Obviously.
I thought I did that. That was my intro. That was a segue. That's
You didn't.
working on it.
Okay, here we go. Communication. 3 common mistakes and how to fix them. Number 1.
Yelling at your spouse. Don't do it.
Stop yelling.
I did it.
Bald chicken and Santa Claus.
No,
He's the Grinch.
A bald
I mean, it
chicken, though.
says
I do
right
like
there.
that. It's a Grinch.
I'm thinking about getting a white wig so I can be Mrs. Claus, but I don't know. Anyway, because we're going to go out on his birthday.
Anyway,
Okay,
okay,
sorry.
back to it. No yelling at your spouse.
That is not a way to communicate.
No. Yelling at anyone really is not an effective form of communication. And some people might think it's a great stress release, and sure, that's fine, but for like a few
Go
seconds.
yell into a pillow.
I mean, yeah. But the other thing we found while we were doing our research for this is they suggested, and we loved it, go do an exercise break. Take 10 minutes, take that short walk, go lift some heavy things. You really want to do that. That can be noiseless, so you're not waking up the neighbors or having them call the cops or anything like that. Or
Noiseless. Yeah.
you like that?
He said take a 30-second break.
Take a 30-second break. Really think about what you want to do. And that's, I think in the anger management classes, they teach you to do that as well. Count back from a certain number. That'll bring those endorphins down and some of that anger down. And it'll really make
to really think.
Yeah, make you think about what you're about to say.
Yeah. So that was number 1.
Yeah. What?
Yelling. Don't do it. Have a competitive attitude. That is the second one. That is a mistake. Because when one person's always a winner, then the other one, well, no. When one person is always the winner, both spouses lose. There is no scoreboard.
And in this, if there is a winner, there's a loser.
Yeah.
And having a loser builds resentment, builds animosity. It doesn't build effective relationships. What was the other piece that we had? We had something in there. There is no scoreboard.
Yeah.
Yes. There was
I don't know.
something
I
else in
think that
there.
one's kind of,
That's pretty easy.
it's pretty easy. Don't compete with each other when you're communicating. Just,
It is perfectly fine within your marriage to, you know, have competitive things. While we were doing dinner, we were doing quizzes and trivia. That's
with
great.
Alexa. Yeah.
Yeah, it's perfectly fine. But those are fun things. You do not
Yeah.
compete for love. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
I got nothing else on that one.
Making marriage about me instead of we.
That's a very cliche thing to say, but it's true. I mean, you really have to think, okay, what pieces am I going to benefit from here? But you also have to think about, does that benefit? I keep shaking these cameras, but
Yeah, we should
does
come not touch the.
does that piece benefit me more than her? That should be your second thought, because that will tell you, is this a fair thing? I mean, nothing in life is completely fair, but you can get pretty close.
You want to talk about the Mark Gungor point system?
So we went to it many years ago, and he's coming to Minnesota. So if you guys have a chance, he's up. It's this weekend?
It's this coming weekend,
okay.
the second.
Well, there's a little ad for him. But it was excellent.
Mark Gungor.
Mark Gungor. And the one we went to was Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage. It was awesome. And in there, he was talking about the point system. Like, guys, we do stuff with a scoreboard. Like we said, don't have a scoreboard, but we do stuff with a scoreboard. So I do something. I do the dishes. Maybe I cook dinner. That should gain me 1,000,000 points because I did everything awesome. No, that gets you one.
Yeah.
But you need 1,000,000 points to get to
the promised land.
All right, fair enough. Yeah.
Men especially, I feel like, are like this. They're like, I did the dishes, I took out the trash, so I should get a really good big gold star and she should love me again, like if you're having a problem. That's not necessarily true. I mean, most women do more of the housework. I know that's different in a lot of places, but like I do the dishes almost every day. I'm like, where's my gold star? But I don't do it to gain something out of it. I do it because it needs to get done. But yeah, so don't be doing it to get praise. Do it because you want to be selfless and generous towards your spouse.
And there have been times I've struggled a lot throughout our relationship in being consistent with this. Is I'll have a thought in the morning, hey, she would really like if I did this, and then by the time the evening rolls around, I'm like, oh, I should have done that thing. She would have been really happy. And at times we get into a fight or a discussion, later on, and I'm like, we wouldn't have had this if I would have just done the thing. Not that thing, but done the thing that I thought about. Excuse me.
Our communication is oftentimes over text messaging because it just is. And sometimes we find that it's easier to communicate that way, especially in like heated moments, because you have the chance to like take time to really write it out rather than yelling it in the moment and having to take it. You can. He calls it etch-a-sketch arguments because you, and then you're like, no, I don't want to say that.
Nope. That
and then you're like,
what I meant.
No, not like that. And then you don't have to do this.
Yeah, don't have to.
So anyway, if you're finding that you're more of a very emotional, reactionary person, maybe start to practice this. Maybe it doesn't have to be text messaging, but it could be like writing it down on a letter, because that gives you time to really think it out and say what you want to say. But also it gives the person a chance to like kind of take it in and process.
Yep.
And then,
And respond when they want to. Most recently, when we had a wonderful discussion about certain things, that was something that I did. I typed this thing out, and I put my phone down. And I did a couple things. I picked it back up, and I looked at it and read it. No, actually, yeah, that is what I want to say. I want to open myself up, and I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to say these things because this is how I feel.
Yeah.
And then I sent it, and all I got to do was wait. And watch those little 3 dots for about 8-10 minutes.
Yeah.
I'd sweat. Anyway, but it's effective. It helps. Take that time. Take a break. Think about it. Read it. Reread it. Probably delete it. And if not, send it.
Okay, keys to effective communication. Be intentional about spending time together talking. This is so sad, but the average couple spends only 20 minutes a week talking to each other.
20 minutes a week. Okay, there's 60 minutes in an hour, 24 hours a day. The math on that sucks. So that's one. Yeah, whatever. That's not enough
That's not
time.
enough time. I know you guys are busy. I know we all have full-time jobs. I know there's kids. I know there's just
Yes.
friends and life. But like, couples need to be talking more than 20 minutes a week. We
And
talk.
Yeah, we talk too much. But and this is separate. I think, at least understanding it, this is separate from, okay, we're going to set aside a date night. I know.
Stop touching the
I
table
can't
and
help it.
buttons,
I'm gonna
everything.
do this. But that's setting aside time from date night, because date night sometimes will end up being, hey, you want to get a pizza? Yeah. And then we're both going to sit on our phones for the next hour. That's not super effective. Yeah. It is sad, but
yeah.
it was on the internet, so it has to be true.
Obviously. But I mean, it can't be that far from the truth. I know a lot of couples that communication is their biggest problem, and it's probably for this reason. They're only talking to their kids or their other friends or whatever, and then they have like nothing really left to say to their husband or wife.
And I think some pieces of the communication issue also are, I'm not listening to you to hear what you're saying. I'm listening to find that one spot where you make a mistake and I can jump in and smash you because I have to win. Again, there's no scoreboard. Back and forth is the key to this thing.
Yeah.
Snapchat
Snapchat is what talking has turned into.
Yeah, I mean, that's
true.
that's some things. I'm not super experienced with Snapchat because I'm old now, I guess.
Do you want me to tell
Stop
him?
it.
His birthday's on Thursday, guys.
Stop it.
He's going to be 40.
That's not very fun.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, that's enough. All right.
Okay, anyway.
Moving on.
So another key to communication, effective communication, is be specific. Do not say things like, you do this all the time.
Yes.
That's not helpful. You need to be exact about what you're talking about.
Yeah, and that's I don't like, or it's not effective when you do this.
Makes me feel this.
Oh, makes me feel once. Hey, as a dude, it made me feel stupid when we first started doing it, because it did turn into those, well, it makes me feel like you do this thing all the time. That's not effective either. Thank you.
Yeah.
But it is. It makes me feel underappreciated when this thing happens. And when I got a response back that was, oh, I hear you. Okay, I'm going to try and help fix that. What do you need me to do? Well, then I was put on the spot like,
Yeah, you better have a solution.
I've never had that response before, so I don't know.
Yeah.
But work through that. Work through that together. The next one is my favorite,
Yeah,
and
he's terrible with this one.
I shouldn't have to be.
Move over just
Avoid mind reading. It's very frustrating when someone else acts like they know better than you.
No better than you, what you were really thinking.
Oh, yes, I do that a lot.
Yes, he does this a lot to me.
I'm not great at, I'll have an entire fight in my head before we even discuss anything. And I win all of those fights. Every single one of them I win. But
Oftentimes it's not even a fight.
yeah, and for a long period of time, part of my job was interpreting other communications, body language, body movements, things like that. So that job for me was awesome. It was super fun, but it was not effective for my relationships because what I could hear was tone and intonation and what things I thought she meant by what she thinks she said and what I think she said.
He does this often with me. He's still learning. You're no expert in that.
Relationships are about learning, and that's it helps.
Yeah.
But my point was,
What was your point?
I didn't read this at all before, so my thought was avoid mind reading. Like I told her when we first got together, I will never ever read your mind, and I will almost never take hints. If you tell me, oh honey, it's kind of cold in here. Nope, not gonna do it. If you tell me, hey, would you mind getting up, turning on the heat?
See,
no problem.
We are probably like many couples out there. Like I will say stuff like that. Like I did it to earlier. I was like, man, I'm cold.
Yep.
And that's all I said. I seriously did not mean I need you to get up and go turn the heat on. I was just making a statement. And that's what I do. He immediately thinks,
that's what I hear.
Well, I guess I should go turn the heat on. Yep. Why don't you just ask me? I wasn't even asking. And then I got up and I'm like, I'm going to go turn the heat on. Like, it wasn't. So,
And
Just
that's
learning
that's
that.
that's how some of our fights start, because
Mind
it's
reading.
stupid stuff like that.
Thinks,
Oh, we're
he
15 minutes.
assumes.
Watch out!
I
Oh my
know.
goodness,
Okay, see, I told you
we're
we'd
almost
only get
there
through
though.
one.
We're talking a lot.
The keys to effective communication: express negative feelings constructively.
We touched on that already a
Yeah.
little bit. You always do this. You never do this.
Yeah, don't
The
do
worst
that.
times that we've had this is saying those types of things. You never do this. Well, that's not correct because I've done it this time and I remember this time.
Yeah, never
Well,
and always is
right.
usually not gonna
But
work.
it is doing those. Like I said, it feels silly when you start, but once you continue to do it, it is the best thing for your relationship and for communication as a whole. I can communicate to my boss and go, "Hey, maybe I'm not understanding this correctly. I've put myself in a position of weakness. But what I heard from you is this, okay? And that makes me think this. How do you want me to proceed?" That type of communication works in your marriage as well as in any other part of your situation.
Any
And you have
relationship,
you haven't lost the power in that relationship when you say things that way. Dropping knowledge.
Yeah.
There, take that.
Listen without being defensive.
Very hard for me to do.
Very hard, I think, for a lot of people because we assume that, like, if they're criticizing something, then it's criticizing us, and that means you don't like me, and you don't like this, and you don't. It's like, no, we all have to open ourselves up to the vulnerability of, like, allowing your spouse to speak into you, whether it's good or bad, I think,
Yeah.
So you have to allow yourself to, like, take it all in and not get defensive. But yeah.
So in a discussion or within this communication piece, let's say we're doing this. I'm very specific about what I want. I've framed it constructively. Now I've got to be able to sit there and go, okay, now what's she got to say? I can't go into it thinking, well, she's going to say this thing and this is what's going to happen and this is the next thing. That's the
mind reading thing
piece.
again.
That's what I do. It happens.
The last one. Freely express positive feelings.
Yeah, I really actually like what David said. Message each other writing the message on the toilet paper in the bathroom if all else has failed. Yeah, because then
Yeah,
if
right,
it's terrible, just throw it away. Just throw it away.
Wipe it.
I like that. That's funny. Okay, yes, freely express positive feelings. This is something I've worked on too, and I think you have as well. I'm not the only one working on stuff, but
I'm pretty perfect, and let's be honest.
I mean, awesome.
Just kidding.
Anyway,
Totally joking.
it is being able to say, "Hey, I really like what's going on here," or where was I going with that?
I don't know. You lost your train of thought.
Your marriage, your relationship, your partnership should be a place where you are able to do both things. Freely express your negative thoughts, where I don't like when you do this, and not feel any repercussions or any fear of anything else.
Yeah.
It should also be the place where you can be an idiot, play around, have fun, do the things that you wouldn't normally do around other people because you're with the person that you're 100% comfortable with.
Yeah.
Be you. That's who they fell in love with, allegedly. So be you.
I mean, I don't know.
Keep doing
9
it.
years ago, we were different people.
We were,
But
we've grown together, and that's
Yeah.
what's nice.
But yeah,
Excuse me.
allow yourself to compliment each other too. Like, I don't know why that's so hard for people to, like, say I appreciate you and what you're doing, and hey, I really appreciate that you work hard for us, and, like, just
That. The first time she said that to me, I was confused. Because it was, hey, I really appreciate that you work hard, that you're willing to do hours, that you're willing to do overtime, all of these things. And then there was a pause, and I'm like, where's the but?
But what?
Where's the but?
No.
Like, how did I screw this up? When it was the end of the sentence, it was, I don't
I don't
know what to do now. Thank you.
Take it in.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at almost 20 minutes and we're gonna stop. That was just the first C, so there will be obviously 4 parts to this. Thanks for watching Santa and the Grinch.
I don't know. It's
Maybe
hot.
next week I know this is gonna be a warm night when we go out.
Yeah.
Maybe next week we'll do it again because it'll be close to Halloween. But anyway,
Well, whatever. It's comfortable. I like it.
so yeah, we're gonna cover the rest of the C's the next 3 weeks, I guess, because it's going
Yeah.
to take a while to get through them. But you guys, if you have any thoughts or comments about anything,
Comments, concerns, send to her.
and you
Complaints, come to
want
me.
us to
So,
talk about any other topic,
delete 'em.
let us know. Anything else you want to share with the people?
Other than that, thank you guys for watching, for being here. A lot of people, I recognize the names. I see them each week. Thank you guys for showing up and watching us. Those of you that have jumped on the YouTube and rewatched them, thank you for doing that. If you like them, subscribe so you can get the notification when we post them.
Yeah. Okay.
Have
Have a good week, guys. Oh my gosh.